Hey, Daily Dosers, Chris Hilken coming to you from James chapter 3 today. So we've been walking through this series while we're going in tandem with our weekend services here at North Coast Church through the book of Mark. And we are going to continue in the book of James with a really popular and really cool passage today. It says this, James chapter 3, beginning at verse 2. It says, "We all stumble in many ways." Ain't that the truth? "Anyone who is never at fault in what he says is perfect, able to keep their whole body in check." So the word there for perfect is the idea of maturity. So the Bible uses these small little exaggerations at different points to make a bigger point. And for a lot of us, this might be the case in our life. If we could simply not be at fault in what we said, and the words that we use, whether they be slanderous or gossip or lies or deception or tearing people down or backbiting, if we just couldn't do that, it's almost as though the Bible is going, man, wouldn't that cut out like 99% of all your issues if you just kept control of your mouth? Continuing, "When we put bits into the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal. Or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and are driven by such strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder wherever the pilot wants to go. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole body, sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and it itself is set on fire by hell." It's pretty intense. "All kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and sea creatures are being tamed and have been tamed by mankind, but no human being," there's the emphasis, "no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison." You can almost feel the writer, you would imagine, is so much of his life, just like all the rest of our lives. How much of the pain of our life has come from something that someone has done to us physically? Now, there's exceptions, right? And the exceptions are awful. There's physical abuse, there's physical bullying, and there's a lot of instances of that. And I don't mean to diminish that whatsoever, but for the majority of us, the pain we experience in our life really doesn't come from physical harm. A lot of it comes from the words that we use, sometimes the words that we don't use, the words that people use against us, or the words that people haven't used in encouraging us, in loving us. And don't you love that word picture right there? Maybe you've seen a big horse before. If you haven't, they're large animals, but they've got such great power. In fact, we use the power of horses to help understand how powerful cars are now because of how ubiquitous they were for transportation and for hauling stuff and for being used for different purposes. They would bring armies into battle and stuff like that. And yet, if you get a 3-year-old grabbing the bridle of a horse, then it's got its little reins, and the reins, but the bit is kind of pulled into the back of the horse's mouth. If that little 3-year-old can pull a horse in one direction, the whole horse moves with it. And this is God trying to give us a word picture of how much of our life is steered by such a small part of our body, your tongue, right? And in the whole weight of who you are, how many ounces is your tongue in the full weight of who you are? And it says, but I'll make a bet with you. The majority of the pain of your life doesn't come from the larger parts of your body, or it comes from right here, from what you say, sometimes what we don't say. I want to give you guys a challenge today as you walk and you kind of navigate your day. Understand, would you just view your tongue as a weapon that it is? But the same weapon that it can be used to be is the same way that it can also be used as this incredible agent for congealing people together, for bringing people together, for building people up. It's able to make great boasts. It's able to change the tide of somebody's day. And for each of us who have an instance where someone's words have torn us down, we also probably have another instance where someone's encouragement or their favor or a nice or kind word that was spoken really made our day. I want to make us aware of that today. And I'm going to take this challenge too, but it's what James admonishes us earlier in the text. Would you be slow to speak, quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry? Maybe just be aware today how many times your words, try to keep a running scale of how your words bring people up and tear people down. And then listen to that one phrase, no human being can tame the tongue. Only a life that is submitted to Christ is able to have any hold on such a dangerous part of your body. But be very aware of what it says, what it doesn't say, and may we use our tongues today to build people up, not to tear them down. We'll see you guys tomorrow.